Thanks, folks, for making time to attend this presentation. We've seen some great talks, starting, with the OCP overview and Intel talking about the need to enable the ecosystem to really see CXL thrive and solve real problems for both hyperscaler and enterprise customers. So today I'm going to talk about the Montage Technology CXL controllers. I'm presenting on behalf of Jeff Finley. He's the worldwide VP of Sales and Business Development. Uh, and I see Joe is online as well. So, Joe, feel free to jump in at any time. Uh, before we jump into CXL, it might be worth just giving a brief history of Montage technology and how this technology has evolved into this CXL product. So Montage has been doing high-speed memory products for almost 2 decades and leading the industry in DDR4 and DDR5 interface products. So continuously, it's not just a first with CXL, but actually for the past several years, they've been setting and helping set the standards and enable the industry around high-speed memory products. And Montage has taken a kind of a portfolio approach to PCI connectivity solutions. So part of that solution also includes retimers, as you know, with PCI Gen 4 and Gen 5 signaling. And of course, everyone's talking about AI, and the clusters seem to just keep exploding, the size of the clusters. So obviously, retiming some of these signals becomes critical to enable not only the reach, but also the density. So, so this is another portfolio product where Montage has made significant strides around the world, enabling customers. When we talk about CXL, Montage was the first to ship CXL controllers. So that's a pretty significant milestone as we talk about enabling the industry. Of course, there's some great ideas, and then Montage took the leap and shipped the first CXL controller. And so while that is a great milestone, the an even more significant milestone is Montage was the first to ship these CXL controllers in a mass production format. And that involved design wins with key customers all over the world. So as the theme of our this forum has been, how do we advance the ecosystem? How do we enable the industry? A big part of that is actually putting devices out there and and taking lead in letting customers test out the use cases, flesh out new innovation early on. So a big focus of Montage technology is also ecosystem enabling. So we want to advance the standards, but then at the same time, we want to make sure we're enabling the ecosystem to take advantage of these new solutions coming out. And solutions, as I was explaining earlier, it's a kind of a portfolio of solutions starting with high-speed DDR and then PCIe Gen 4, Gen 5 retimers. And then that naturally leads into CXL, which is a great way to combine the high-speed expertise that Montage has developed with the DDR4, DDR5 memory products, and then combining that with the experience gained developing PCIe-based products. Let me go to the next slide. So of course we've heard of all the great use cases that the previous speaker spoke about. The need for memory expansion. Anil spoke about the fact that at some point there's going to be a limit to how many pins you can put on the package. So while it's great, you can continue adding DDR as much as you can. Eventually, you need a CXL. But then at some point, of course, CXL will also need uh, to expand the capacity significantly. And that's where the CXL memory expander controller that Montage has put out is serving that need for expanding the memory as we spoke about, but then also pooling. So when you combine these controllers with high-speed CXL switches, at that point we really can enable the memory pooling use cases that the the industry standards have been working to enable. And to keep in mind, while it's great to enable the two major use cases, if you will, one is expanding the capacity, and then we heard previously examples of how it's also critical to expand the bandwidth of applications, because it's just so uh, demanding, especially some of these AI applications, really demanding on the bandwidth side. So that's where it becomes critical to enable a low latency interconnect. So this is where the Montage technology controllers come into play, developing or delivering the high bandwidth, high capacity, but at the low latency that's required to really service some of these applications. And a lot of these applications need to perform in a non-blocking format. So that becomes pretty critical. And in fact, in the previous presentation, we heard questions about tail latency. So that again highlights the fact that there is a lot of sensitivity to the latency that these devices will inject into the solution. So that's where the Montage controllers are, they're compliant with all of course, the specifications, especially JEDEC and then PCIe Gen 5 speeds. And we recognize customers will have different form factors, and our previous speaker spoke about some of the various form factors that need to be enabled for customers for different use cases. Maybe it's a hyperscaler use case, or maybe it's an enterprise use case. So that's where the the Montage controllers are designed actually to fit into both, the add-in card type form factors, or even the EDSFF memory module and CXL pooled memory type of use cases. So moving on to the next slide. So of course, CXL as a technology is great. And then earlier when Micron was presenting, there were questions about, yeah, what is the price differential? So I think these are very important questions that we as a collective ecosystem need to be cognizant of. And really we all want to see the CXL really take off in a significant way. So the way, at least the Montage view of the market is, there are CXL capable servers, and then there are CXL enabled servers. So of course, we want to see CXL capable servers really proliferating the market, so that the industry and the use cases start being proven out, and that will drive customers to really enable and take advantage and populate those CXL servers to the maximum capacity. So this is where I think it's critical for the ecosystem to come together to prove out the use cases and help kind of drive the rapid adoption of CXL technology. Moving on, I spoke about the MXC memory expander controller from Montage. So this is just giving some more detail into the product. Of course, you may have seen, or some of you may have seen some of the demos done in partnership, and I have a slide later on just kind of showing that in case you missed that demo. But just to hit on a few key bullet points, the MXC memory controller, or memory expander rather, is available in both PCIe add-in cards and EDSFF memory modules. And there's a wide range of flexibility that's available to design with these expander controllers. And of course, also support for all the data center features, RAS, etc. And some of the use cases we heard of earlier about maintaining the high bandwidth utilization and efficiency. And of course, power, right? There's only a certain power budget that's available as we develop these rack systems. And the other thing, as we talk about ecosystem partnerships, so today the Montage has partnered with Samsung and SK Hynix in delivering some of these and demonstrating some of these solutions kind of in an end-to-end format. Moving on, again, just a second level flick down into some of the features that the MXC controller offers. Of course, like we not just I said before, but also the other speakers spoke about the need for high bandwidth, and then balancing that with the low latency interconnect between the CPU and a CXL, so that you can continue to deliver this high performance with this memory expansion tier, if you will. And so that's where the Montage CXL controller, provides several other flexibilities as well, including RISC-V microprocessor. So there's some flexibility available and on these devices, as well as all of the great capabilities to debug and then monitor some of these systems. So those are, of course, part of the controller design. And then as we talk about the DDR controller, right? So of course there are two sides to the MXC controller. One that's facing the CXL side, which is compliant with all of the CXL specifications, and of course the .mem, .io protocols. But then on the other side of the controller, where it's facing the DDR channels, that's where, of course, it's critical to be compliant with the JEDEC standards and support both the UDIM, RDIM, and also various speeds that are required for the operation. And then there are definitely optimizations available for low power consumption, as well as for I/O equalization to really extract the maximum performance out of the interconnect. So I think, again, we've all seen this kind of memory hierarchy pyramid, but just to re-emphasize the point, I won't dwell too much on it. But of course, direct attached memory, as we know, is not able to keep up with the capacity requirements. So delivering these kinds of memory expansion solutions, accommodating large number of DRAM chips and delivering this at a low power, high capacity format while still being within a one NUMA hop to the processor. That's what the MXC controller is really delivering. And in terms of readiness, I spoke before that the MXC controllers, of course, so, they were the first to not only come out, but then also first to mass produce. So the status is all major memory suppliers and all major SoC suppliers have definitely this readiness. So so get in touch with your module providers if you're looking to deliver these CXL based solutions for the end customers. I spoke earlier about kind of the ecosystem coming together. So this is just one example. This is a demo that was done previously with the Memverge memory viewer, and then the Montage controller, and then showing the interoperability with different memory manufacturers as well. So definitely, if this is something of interest or you haven't seen this demo before, definitely check out this demo. And in terms of call to action, you can work directly with Montage if you're interested in using these controllers. Of course, so you can also work directly with some of the memory solution providers if you're looking for the actual end product. And then some of the links listed out here, that's where you can go for more information. And of course, feel free to contact me if further information is required. And with that, just being sensitive to time, I just want to say thank you again for listening.